This is Dan,
Dawn,
and Karen,
and we are the co-producers of the annual polyamory event Beyond the Love, Poly Summit 2014.
Beyond the Love is a low-cost, 3-day event on November 7th through 9th, held in a newly renovated hotel in Columbus, Ohio.
You'll find a variety of classes and workshops led by people who live in poly relationships from around the country.
As well as fun and interactive extras like poly speed mixer, game night, and a masquerade dance.
There will be a wealth of opportunity to learn tools, techniques, and communication skills to enhance our poly relationships.
We'll provide a safe environment for meeting with other like-minded people in a supportive and inclusive community.
We welcome all those living a poly lifestyle or considering doing so.
We are passionate about recognizing poly as a relationship choice and sharing common experiences on our many different paths.
Find out more at beyondthelove.org.
We'll see you there.
Welcome to our Bliss Bringers podcast. The materials we cover encourage adults of all ages, nationalities, and sexualities to open up and embrace their wildest desires and blissful pleasures. You won't find medical advice here, just our personal experiences following the journey of sexual evolution and education in sizzling fun topics that were definitely not taught to us in school, but have wickedly blossomed into reality. We discuss adventures in ethical non-monogamy, kinks and fetishes, exotic places to visit, sexy events, workshops, and tips. Allow us to seduce you into embarking on new adventures where each day you ask yourself, what's your pleasure?
Hello everybody and welcome back. Today we are talking about swinger sites, how to pick them, how to find them, and how to use them. With us here is Emily.
Hi.
Welcome. So Emily, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. I have been in the lifestyle for about 11 years. Got in when I was rather young. I was about 22 years old. It's been an incredible journey for me. I've experienced it as a couple, as a unicorn, which is what we call in the lifestyle a single female. It's been amazing. I started out in the lifestyle being really interested in my bisexuality and those thoughts and feelings. And so started out exploring with women, and then that naturally evolved. And I used to be on other websites, had some really good friends of mine who approached me about Kasidie, asked if I would be interested in being a part of it. And I was completely elated because the lifestyle changed my life completely, and how I looked at owning my own sexuality, female empowerment, and everything in between that. So they asked me if I'd be interested. I was jumping up and down. And a few short years later, I ended up taking over a bigger part of the ownership, and the main profile is Kasidie. And that was a really exciting time in my life, and I've been enjoying it ever since.
So that was with Scott and Nicoletta?
Scott and Nicoletta.
I've heard that there was something going on Playboy channel with them and you. Tell us about that.
Scott and Nicoletta originally started working with Playboy on a show called Swing. The show is, in my opinion, it's one of the only real reality TV shows out there. And I can say that because I've been behind the scenes and a part of it. And there's no script or anything like that. But you have seasoned couples, resident couples that stay on set. And you have a newbie couple that comes in once a week. You introduce them to the lifestyle and take them through the journey, answer questions for them. And, either they take the plunge or
they run away screaming.
Or they run away. They have that choice. And it's really neat because they set a contract with each other that have specific set rules that say, this is what we're comfortable with. This is what we're not comfortable with. So it's a boundary thing, and it really shows how important that communication is in general relationships, but even more so here. Then they start their journey, but they have people on the show that it's a pretty diverse group of couples that have been in the lifestyle for some time and can offer some great guidance. And so Scott and Nicola were involved in season 2, and then I was on season 3 and 4.
Wow. So you were part of a couple there or by yourself?
I was a couple during season 3, and I was a unicorn on season 4. So it was quite the transition. But I enjoyed both being a couple and being a single female as well. It's crazy because it's almost like a swinger camp. Season 3, I was there filming for a month. You would think that in a month's time that there would be some conflict in that house.
Yeah, isn't that usually what the producers are driving towards, oh, let's throw this and this together so there's good drama?
Playboy stays away from drama. Playboy, and this is why Kasidie's been really adamant about working with them, is they're all about being sex positive. It has nothing to do with drama or anything like that. This is real people and real life experiences in the lifestyle. And in general, I find that there's probably less drama in the lifestyle because people are communicating with each other. Mm-hmm. And you have to be secure and strong in order to be in this community, because it's like, all right, you have your relationship, or maybe you're a single for that matter, but you're stepping into something that is extremely out of the box. Going back to it, it's like a swinger camp and a sexy, classy swinger camp. Not dirty and grungy like you might think camping is. There was no conflicts or issues. Everybody talked things out. It was amazing.
Awesome.
Hi, I'm Daniel Stern. I'm the author of Swingland, Between the Sheets of the Secretive, Sometimes Messy, but Always Adventurous Swinging Lifestyle. Out right now in hardback and ebook, available at all bookstores and at blissbringers.com/swingland.
Let's talk about our favorite swinger sites. We discovered Kasidie as our second site, personally, and signed up when it was still a wee little site, and I've seen it grow in both quality and quantity of people. When people ask me what site to pick, I always say it strongly depends on where you are and what you are looking for. Do you have any tips on how people should pick?
Ultimately, you're looking for something that's user-friendly and a place that you can easily access information on like-minded couples or singles, whatever that is you're looking for. So user-friendly, and I think the biggest thing when you're looking at a site is meeting people. Mm-hmm. And ultimately, that's the goal, is to meet people. And so you want to find a site that has a lot of events posted on it, and a lot of different types of events, because if you're new and you're getting into the lifestyle, you might want to, hold back on just jumping into going straight to an on-premise club. And an on-premise, for those of you that don't know, means that it's a place that you can take it to the next level and have sex within the club. Off-premise is just more of a meet and greet social type of atmosphere. So you want something that you can kind of step into it. But then you also want options when you're ready to take it to the next level and experience a full-blown
cuddle.
Well, let's call it that for now. But Kasidie, we have almost 800 events posted on the site right now, and it fluctuates obviously day to day, because we always have promoters posting events, and we also have trips as well for those of you that like to travel. And Kasidie is really set up more like a social network, like Facebook, but for really kinky people, minus your family and friends, for the most part. I mean, I can't say that there's not some kinky people in your lives, but you can share things without having the fear of being outed to everybody in your world. Mm-hmm. And the thing that I find is very strong about our site is the name, Kasidie. I mean, I can go and have dinner with a friend and talk about Kasidie, and first and foremost, it's not spelled like Kasidie normally would be. It could be a marketing nightmare for us, but it's awesome discretion. The other thing is it's not a label. You can make it be whatever you want, because the swinging world and the lifestyle world is very diverse. There's something out there for anyone. And so we didn't want to put people in a box of the word swinger.
Yeah, I've seen poly people on there. I've seen some BDSM-minded people.
Yeah, I was talking to this really sexy couple, 2 girls, and I actually asked them out on a date. I was like, oh, geez, all right. There's all kinds of different things on Kasidie, and I like that about our community, because it's a sexually social community. It's not just about one thing.
What is the best way to set up a profile? I see newbies set up a profile without any pictures and with a 2-sentence description.
I think the first thing you have to think about is the screen name. I can tell you, back in the day when I first got into the lifestyle, I had no idea that you would be known for your screen name.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a login, and that was simply it. So there was some thought put into it, but not as much thought if I knew that everyone would say, hey, there's Curious Us, you know? Make sure to set up something that represents you, and that's also easy to remember versus sexy couple.
For you, 69 to
9522.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
Like, I want to remember you.
Yes, that's so frustrating. You're okay. You come out of a playroom and you're already like sweaty and tired and it's dark and you're like, oh yeah, it's sexy couple 42 with an underscore and like, I wouldn't be able to remember that even if I was sober.
That's the biggest thing. So make sure, because you want people to be able to find you, obviously set up a great screen name that's easy to remember and easy to spell. Then once you set up your profile, pictures. And if you're a couple, we want to see both. I want to see the girl and the guy.
And not just a penis.
And not just a penis. As much as I love cock. I want to see, what's going on. I want to see the whole package. Like, for instance, on Kasidie, we have different albums. We have the white album. Anyone who signs up, even free members, can see that album. Probably want to keep your face photos out of there. Then we have a yellow folder, and that's for certified members. And to be certified, you have to send in a photo of yourself to my admin with your face, with a sign showing the date, your screen name. And if you're a couple, you both need to be in the photo, or you need to go to an event and have the event host certify you or have a certified member certify you. So the yellow folders are specifically for certified members. And then there's another layer, and that's the red folders. If you're discreet and you're concerned about people finding out about you, then you can use the red album. And that's where you only grant access whoever you want to see that photo album. So make sure to load up as many photos as you possibly can in all of the albums. Whites, maybe there's a little more teaser. And then yellows, it's a little more pulling people in. They want to see your reds. And so it's kind of like that whole flirtatious buildup. And be honest, because here's the thing. Like, if I'm meeting you and I've already seen you naked, you really have nothing to hide.
Yeah, some of these people post pictures who are like 10 years and 20 pounds off, right?
Exactly. That's not going to get us anywhere. Being real with what you're looking for and understanding that this is not a race. This is your journey. So whatever it is you want, put it down there so people know what they're getting into, and it helps your chances of chemistry and connection. Because if someone's reading a profile that's fully filled out and they're looking at your pictures, then odds are that you have a better chance of hitting it off.
What are some of the don'ts? What are some of the major turn-offs on a profile? For me, it's quite honestly not being able to spell. If you have half sentences and typos, I'm like,
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of typos either. When somebody doesn't put effort and it's like looking for hot couples, that to me is a turnoff. There's a thing about getting to the point, but there's no need to go overboard with it. Just having nothing but cock shots all over no. We need to see more than that. I personally like to see someone's face and what it looks like before I meet them.
My turnoff number 2 would be messy rooms.
Oh, that's a good one. People often don't pay attention when they're taking a photo and they have like a bomb went off in the room. It's crazy.
Yeah, dirty laundry and stuff like that. No, like, clean up.
You're like, yeah, I'm not going to your house for a play date.
I also find selfies a little bit suspicious.
You're talking to the selfie queen. So, but wait, in my defense, I'm a unicorn, so
yes.
I have photos of myself most of the time.
But most of your photos are like professional grade quality, right? So
No, actually, I take a lot of selfies, but I'm really, really good I've mastered the selfie.
okay, I'll give you a pass on that. To me, it sounds like a little bit weird, like you couldn't get your wife or your husband to take the decent picture for you. Really, you have to do that in the bathroom stall or whatever.
I understand that. I don't know. I kind of like selfies, but there's an art to it. Let's put it that way. It's kind of like paying attention to your messy room. You also have to pay attention to the angles when you're taking a selfie.
Yes. What about contacting people?
The more effort you put into an email, same as your profile. So I don't highly recommend copy and paste. Pretty suspicious. If you're really interested in somebody, take the time and read their profile and then reference something about their profile in your email. And odds are you're going to get a lot more response that way. Oftentimes I see a lot of copy and paste, and it makes you feel like, well, geez, do you know what I'm looking for or what I'm interested in? Was there any effort made?
I think the best tip is look at the profile, seeing, oh, you're into this. Oh, I'm into this also. Let's do this. So find a connection and propose something.
And then from there, I think oftentimes a great idea is to meet at a party. Because, hey, if we don't hit it off, then there is hundreds of other people that I might hit it off with. No hard feelings. There could be an amazing connection, and you end up leaving the party in like 5 minutes, and you can't even get to the place to take your clothes off. But maybe you end up just being friends with them, and you meet somebody else great that night.
I think that's a good tip, taking a date to a party. Even when it doesn't click, the chances are good that you might find somebody or they might find somebody else to play with that does tickle their fancy.
It's about chemistry and connection. And if you think about that amongst two people and then you add a third or a fourth or more than that, it just gets a little more complicated for everybody to get along at the same level. And so you can't ever be down on yourself for not having a connection. You're going to find that, but it might just take a little bit of time to find the right people. I mean, I remember when I first got into the lifestyle, and I used to say things like, I will never do this.
How long did that last?
Well, I found the right person.
There you go.
Then it happened. And when it happened, it was amazing because it wasn't forced. And I wasn't doing it because I had to run to the next, to the finish line and like scream up and down like, oh, I just did this. I'm a hero. It was about that person made me feel comfortable, and it happened, and it was amazing.
We all go in with our lists of do's and don'ts in the beginning, and then after a little while, they all change.
They do. And I think that as you become more comfortable and realize that the people in the community are, for the most part, very genuine, caring people, I think people's guards start to come down a little bit more. There's so many misconceptions about what this is all going to be about. There's shows, thank goodness, like Swing and other shows and podcasts like yours that educate people. There's always that misconception of what swinging was. The key party.
You put all the keys in a bowl, right? That's how it goes.
And let me tell you, I could be in a room of people I was attracted to, and I would not do that. It's like I've never, ever once seen a key party.
We should do one, ironically.
I guess that would... I've got keys. I can throw them in.
Hey, look who just joined us.
Yay!
It's Mistress Cindy.
Yeah, I've been out spanking tail feathers at the yoga studio. And I'm sweaty.
All right, we got a sweaty threesome going on here. Awesome sauce.
Hot.
Yay! Yes, Bikram yoga's hot, and the sound of being sweaty with you two is even hotter.
I just can't stop thinking of yoga pants, so.
Jeez, I want to do naked yoga.
Yes.
There's a couple of guys in the class. I can't help it. My mind starts wandering, and I'm like, oh, if only we could do naked yoga in here.
There are spots where you can do naked yoga in San Francisco.
Yeah, Twist. Twist does it on the weekend. They used to. We should check that out.
I have a hard enough time taking a regular yoga class.
With all the distractions.
I mean, I think I would hurt myself in naked yoga, to be quite honest.
You know, when you're turning your head around, it's more like a whipping it around like, damn, boy.
That's why the instructor always pats me on the head like, no, you need to look at the floor. Ma'am, look at the floor, please.
Eyes forward.
Like,
Naughty.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's too funny. So, what have you naughty kids been up to?
Nothing at all. I was just gonna talk about the Girls Uncorked concept.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so Girls Uncorked is a party that we started. It's more of a meet and greet, let's call it. And it happens at someone's house every third Thursday of the month. It's girls only, except for twice a year, guys can join in. But the girls get together, they bring a bottle of wine, they bring an appetizer, or what I call a happytizer, and they just sip and socialize, get to know each other. And it's a great way for the girls to bond. And even for people who are just coming into the lifestyle, again, I said you need to have different types of events. If you're new to the lifestyle, it's a great way to step in where it's not as intimidating to walk into a room full of couples. It gives you a chance to get to know people and kind of see what the lifestyle is all about. And then you can, maybe meet a few girls, and then later on as a couple, you can, arrange a dinner or something.
Or you can gossip and pillow fight.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Pillow fight. That's exactly what we do. We actually have 46 chapters right now. For me, it's one of my favorite things to go to still. I was a part of the first Girls Uncorked. It started in Denver. I was one of 3 people at the party.
Wow.
The night was still very magical. Now, most of the Girls Uncorked in Denver are like 60 plus girls.
What kind of things happen other than getting a little bit tipsy under drinking wine and stuff and cocktails?
So they do this thing called the circle, and some people joke because they're like, what is that? Sounds kind of like, a little religious or something, but Does
it involve
really cool
chakras?
because the girls gather around in a circle, and it's not a seance or anything like that. You say your name, your screen name, and a fun fact. It's kind of cool because it gives you an opportunity to get to know everybody in the room a little bit and something fun about them. And, we're lifestyle people, so sometimes they talk about regular life stuff, but for the most part, it's comical and kinky driven. And so it ends up being where, the girls are laughing so hard, and then you have to quiet it down so you can finish the circle because it's so hilarious. They do that. Usually it doesn't run late since it's on a Thursday, so it goes from 6 p.m. until 10 p.m. Really, it's more of a mingle, meet and greet type of atmosphere, more casual.
Do any of the chapters hold them on the weekends?
Every once in a while I'll have chapters who hold it on the weekends, but typically what I find, obviously you have singles in the lifestyle, but for the most part, I find couples want to do things together on the weekends. And so it's easier for the girls to get away on a Thursday. Right. Okay. But the girls and guys too, the semi-annual is held on the weekend.
Kind of like a barbecue.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a luau is one of them, and that's in July. And then the Christmas party.
Oh, that's kind of nice. So here's what I was thinking is the other day I'm cleaning up, I've got a closet full of, lifestyle clothing. I've got Burning Man clothes. I have swinger clothes, which is slut gear. And there's a lot of the little outfits that I just don't wear anymore. Some of them don't fit. I've lost weight from working out over the last 6 months. So I'm like, oh, this dress, I'm not going to wear this anymore. So then I started thinking, but I don't want to go buy new stuff. Why don't we have like a yard sale? No, I want to swap outfits. And
you need to do a Girls Uncorked swap meet.
That's exactly what I was thinking is that we need
swap meet. meet.
We need to do a swap meet and then bring our clothes, because a lot of the girlfriends at our little inner circle here in the Bay Area, a lot of the girls we were all talking, we're like, man, we have so many clothes and we don't know what to do with it. Shoes, toys. Exactly. No, I'm not giving up my toys. I'm drawing the line.
Should the swap meet technically be like during one of the girls and guys too, if you're swapping meat? I'm sorry.
I think that happens on the weekend anyhow. That's a Friday, Saturday.
I had to go there.
That's a good one.
You are a dirty-minded girl. I like that.
I can't help it. Look what I do for a living.
Oh my God. Yeah. You must have. Do you ever go to your folks' place or any of your family members and just slip? Like, oops.
Well, they know.
Oh.
Well, they've seen you on TV, I guess.
I had to let them know. I mean, I'm so public about it that the thing I wanted is that if I were outed, which I knew was going to happen just because I chose to be public, I wanted them to have an education on what it was, so that if somebody approached them, they could say they knew about it, but they could also talk about it from an educational standpoint versus all of the misconceptions that are out there. They could then turn that around. And what was interesting is when I told my parents, they had already met a ton of my friends that were lifestyle, including Scott and Nicoletta. They loved them. They loved all of my friends. So it was kind of hard for them to pass judgment, because it's like, wow, they're really amazing people. I can't say anything about it. Yeah, it's funny. I'll get big boxes of condom shipments and lube and toys and you name it. And my family's around when that stuff comes in, and it's no different than anything, really. I mean, they've been pretty supportive. I'm fortunate for that.
No, that's really important, because, the last thing you want to do is have someone out you and then trying to backpedal and explain things. It's better to choose your own time, choose your words, and you did the right thing.
I had a little dinner party one night, and my mother is Cajun. So I was making seafood gumbo, and so she invited herself. And I said, Mom, I'm having friends over,
Those kind of friends.
Wink, wink. She's like, well, I can come for a little bit. I mean, I know how to cook gumbo better than you do. And I'm like, all right, well, come on over for a little bit. So she shows up, and my dad's with her too. And she goes, does Mama look hot?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, Mom, what are you getting at? Now, granted, I can't see my parents doing that, but it's so funny that, even my parents who are vanilla were feeling the energy from the environment. So my mom wanted to look sexy. Aww. And my dad is like the cool kid. And all my friends were surrounding him all night and like making comments like, oh my God, I bet you were such a Mac daddy when you were young. And he was eating that up. So it's kind of cool to see that they've even experienced at least that side of it.
So have you checked on the Kasidie profiles? Your parents might have one?
No.
And if you happen to come across them at a party, I would love to be the fly on the wall and see the expression on your face.
Oh, no. I can't see them ever signing up for a profile. And they know certain things not to do, like don't Google my name. It's not a good idea, things like that.
Nothing shocks me anymore. I mean, we've come across things. My worlds have collided. I don't know if John had mentioned he discovered his parents were swingers, but he didn't discover. Yeah, they outed themselves to me.
They came out to her.
Yeah, it wasn't a shock to John, because some of the, when we were first dating and we were talking about when we were growing up, just trying to get to know each other years ago. And he had this one memory, and the way that he described it, I'm like, honey, are you sure your parents weren't swingers? And I think this is about the time before we actually became swingers. And I will never forget the look on his face. He just went kind of blank, and I could tell the wheels in his head started spinning like, oh my God. And then it just started unfolding on its own. First, his stepdad started telling me, and then his other dad started telling me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you guys are telling me. Have you all told John? Tell John.
They never told me anything.
Wow.
No.
How do you feel about that?
I just remember as a kid, like, oh, mom is being silly. She's sleeping in the wrong sleeping bag.
Because they had a slumber party. The picture that he paints is, oh yeah, my family, we used to have a bunch of friends come over and cook and drink, you know.
And they all had kids. And
they all had kids, and the kids played with each other. And then we all slept over because moms and dads were drinking. And then he continues with, go ahead.
In the middle of the night, having to go pee and then looking at the sleeping bags. That was in the time where you had these square sleeping bags, which you could put like two people when you zip them together. And I saw, oh, mom is being silly. She's sleeping in the wrong bag. That was it. Went back to bed. That was so far in my memory that I wasn't sure if I imagined it or remembered it.
Well, I guess I'll have to keep my eyes open.
When are you going to do your first Girls on Cork, baby?
As soon as I get the packet, I'm going to put it all together.
Well, I'm going to get you your packet.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
The swapping meat in action.
Yes. We are going to combine the chapters and have big parties. And
awesome.
We're going to swap clothes. And then later that night, we'll swap meat.
Yes. Exactly.
Clothes first. So as soon as I have that, I'm going to put it on to the Bliss Bringers calendar of events and get some stuff going. We've got some changes happening with Bliss Bringers as well. We're starting to add in some fitness and exercise programs for our listeners and stuff.
Very cool. Like I said earlier, it's like regular dating. Keeping up yourself in general is good, but we're still dating, so we want to make sure we look our best and feel our best.
Looking good naked is one of the best motivators in the world.
Hell
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why in the morning I get up and I look at myself in different positions so I can see what I need to work on.
Well, we want to look at you in different positions also.
Tell us more.
My morning routine.
Because you work out regularly.
You know what? It helps. It helps. And my fitness coach is lucky because I send him naked photos. Okay, well, this is what I look like this week.
Oh my gosh. Do you have a female fitness coach or a male fitness coach?
Male.
A male? Oh my gosh. He's probably loving life. Like, oh my God, I love this client.
Yeah. Well, he's now a member. So, he's part of a couple. So
you recruited them. That's awesome.
I did.
Thank you very much, Emily.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time, and hopefully when you start that Girls in Cork chapter, I can come out and visit you guys.
Absolutely. Do you ever get out to San Francisco?
You know, I have in the past, but it's been a while, so I'm definitely...
This is the time of year.
It's overdue.
It's due.
Yeah.
Overdue.
Get out here. We will be in Vegas at the end of October, Fetish and Fantasy Ball.
Spanking asses.
Yep.
Names.
Yep. We will be with the Dragon's Gate team down there doing BDSM. Basically, you know, Halloween, that's the party for all vanillas and their reasoning to get dressed up sexy like us swingers do on a weekend basis. But there is like 5,000 people that come out to this big party that's being held at Hard Rock, and we get 1 to 2 hour waiting lines just to be flogged and spanked and teased and put up on St. Andrew's crosses.
Love it.
We love it. It's like, oh, hello, here's my room number.
And
I'm very into that lifestyle as well.
Come out, join us for the Halloween weekend. It is the best weekend in Vegas.
We'll give you a VIP treatment.
Yes.
And you can see all the pictures of the event at kasidie.blissbringers.com.
That's right. That's
awesome.
Right.
Well, thanks for that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and look forward to meeting you guys and spanking asses and taking names like you said. That's hilarious. I love it. I'm going to have to use that one more often. Bye.
And that is all that we have time for today. If you have any questions for Emily, visit kasidie.blissbringers.com. If you just want to look at her pictures, that's okay too. We won't judge. If you have any questions for us, hit us up on info@blissbringers.com or on Twitter @blissbringers. Everybody else, make sure that you are subscribed via iTunes at itunes.blissbringers.com. You get the picture. Until next time, what's your pleasure?
All names mentioned in this show are either fictional, taken from public record, or held by people who have given their explicit consent to be mentioned.
She broke into one of the rooms and found my strap-on.
Oh no, and now you got bite marks in your strap-on?
I'm going to have to get a new strap-on because she's her squeaky toy and it was not her squeaky toy.